Hey, it's CSEC Panda, and if you've clicked on this video, chances are you're going to be doing the CSEC Office Administration exam in a couple of weeks, days, maybe even hours. So my goal with this is to help you understand what they're looking for in the exam so that you can have a better chance of passing with ease, okay? And I think that what I'm about to say is pretty helpful because the more you understand what they want from you, the better your chances of actually passing. So I'm just going to go through, if you'll bear with me, an overview of the exam, each of the papers, break it down, maybe go into a little bit more detail about paper 2. So let's just jump into it, okay? So the whole exam is worth 200 marks, right? And it's 3 papers, paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3. Paper 1 is a multiple choice paper, which is worth 60 marks. So there's 60 questions on it, 1 mark each. Paper 2 is an essay paper, meaning that there are going to be questions on it that they want you to write short answers to. And that one is worth 90 marks, and it's got 6 questions on it. So 15 marks each, yeah. Paper 3 is worth 50 marks, and that paper is going to be a case study. So they're going to make up a scenario to test your abilities to use your office admin skills. That's about 10 questions, so that's what that one is. And so together, as you see, those are 200 marks. So paper 2 counts for 45% of the grade, paper 1 is 30%, and lastly, paper 3 is 25%. So you can hear from that that paper 2 is kind of the big one to focus on. They all matter, but this is the one that carries the greatest weight of the marks. So now I'm going to move into talking about what I consider to be the best strategy for when you're doing this. Best thing I can recommend to pass paper 1 is to really practice them as much as you can. Use YouTube, use any physical papers you can get your hands on. As many paper 1s from the past as you can do, that would be better. This is because the first paper covers the whole syllabus, so not only is it a great way to get an overview and practice a lot of the concepts that they're trying to get you to understand, but it's also a great way to look over the whole syllabus. And the bonus that most people do paper 1s for, many times the questions do repeat, so you could get lucky. If you already know the answer beforehand, then it makes it easier when you're there on exam day. Paper 2 now is not as easy to cram for and prepare for. I'm going to try to tell you a bit about the question structure, and I might make a separate video that deals with this in greater detail. So there's 6 questions on the paper 2, and each question is worth 15 marks. Each of those questions are split in approximately half. And what I mean by split in half is that they are going to be testing you on 2 separate aspects of how good you are at this. These are the aspects, knowledge and application, that carry a letter. Like when you get your grade results back, you see it's not just a number that the grade is, but also this other thing that's a letter, A, B, C, etc. So knowledge is where they're going to be testing you on like textbook stuff. So that's stuff that you could have just learned straight out of the book. It has to do more with memory. It will be things like asking you for definitions of certain terms. So like tell them what ex officio means, or tell them what a franking machine does. Or it might be something like asking you to describe some of the functions of the accounting office. So that's just knowledge straight out of the textbook. But then the other part of it is application, which is where they throw you into a scenario that they make up in the question, and they want to see how well you can use your office skills to handle that. Now, this will be like pretend that you're somebody who's applying for a job and you need to write an application letter, or pretend that you are the purchasing clerk for a company and we need to purchase XYZ, prepare a purchase order. So the thing that you can know about all of these application parts of each question are that they generally are requiring you to make a document. So whether it's to make an invoice, to write a check, to create a travel itinerary, or to do a petty cash book, all of them come down to make a document. So for getting past paper 2, my chief strategy would be to know a little bit about what each of these documents do, what they look like, what their general format is, and the purpose of them, so that nothing takes you completely by surprise. And then the second thing would be to know a little bit about each department, so that you can answer, like, what are the functions of the department, what are the things that the clerks do, and so on. The more you work that into your mind, the better a chance you'll have of answering those questions. On this channel, I've got videos that are attempting to help you out with those particular things. I have made a couple videos on each one of the different departments that they want you to deal with. I haven't got all of them out yet, but I hope that the ones that I do have will be something of a help. And so the next thing in terms of paper 2 would be to make sure that you actually have the format of these documents kind of down so that it flows kind of smooth in your mind. When you come to paper 3 now, it's going to be a case study. That means that they're going to invent a situation, and for 10 questions, they're going to carry you through different parts of this entire situation so that you can prove your application skills again in an unexpected scenario. So if they ask you to pretend that you're an accounting clerk in some departments, it's going to be like a series of questions that have to do with maybe you need to write a check to somewhere, maybe you need to do payroll at some point, maybe you need to do bank reconciliation or something like that, so that you kind of prove that, okay, you can do all of these things on the fly for them. So paper 3 is really going to be up to you on the day to perform as best you can. But the good news is if you are good at doing paper 1 and you're good at doing paper 2, paper 3 is going to be kind of a blend of all of that knowledge, but you're just going to be applying it. I might make another video specifically on paper 2 and how to get more into that, or maybe all of them. They will be linked somewhere around here if I do decide to do that. But this was the overview of the exam, so I hope that you understand what exactly they're going to be asking you to do in order to get as many of those 200 marks as possible and get into the zone where you are guaranteed to pass. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Look anywhere around this video in the cards or in the description box for anything that I may make later on that might help you further or is related to this. And I hope that this all works out well for you. Best wishes for your exam, okay?